it's interesting to note that the one thing we've truly learned, if we didn't already know this, is that the former royal known as Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, certainly likes to do things his own way. Some people might describe him as arrogant, selfish, demanding, and of course just simply wanting his own way at every single turn. That is, well, kind of really obvious when you think about it, the way that he's treated the arrival back here into the United Kingdom on the very first day of his court appearance. Apparently, it was all about security issues, once again highlighting the fact that seemingly, he's under such great scrutiny security-wise, yet miraculously he managed to get through the airport without anybody actually seeing him. That's because he came into a private airfield. You get the picture. But what's interesting now is as this particular story develops regarding Prince Harry, the court case, the hacking, all the details about his family, well, what's the true background to this? In particular, of course, the breakdown of what many people say was one of his greatest and most influential relationships. As ever, let me explain. Morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me today. Lovely green background, playing havoc, of course. With the hay fever, but we battle on, don't we? Yes. How are you today? You all right? You're not bad? You feeling all right? Yeah. Well, we're pushing ahead. It's been a busy week so far, as you can imagine, for the Royal Courts of Justice. All of the paparazzi are outside. And really, when you think about it, in my opinion, whatever they claim, this is what Harry and Meghan truly love, particularly him. He talked a lot, didn't he, in the interviews for Spare about how people manipulated the press. But he too looks at his press to see whether it's favourable or not. Hasn't been very favourable for many years now. But what is interesting as that particular story does develop is simply this. Time and time again, he is basically, along with his QC, are citing the breakdown of his relationship with his very first paramour, the serious love, Chelsea Davy. Now, at that time, I do remember covering those particular stories. She was very effervescent, fun, always willing to sort of smile, give a wave and a chat if necessary to the media. It was always Harry that was scowling away, making out that, they were so negative. Of course, when you look at the story, there's two sides, and many people are claiming that, of course, her phone was hacked and stories evolved from there, obviously. But is that the true reason why Chelsea decided to chuck in the life of a royal princess? Well, seemingly not, according to a very good source and a person who knew Chelsea incredibly well during that particular period. While all the press intrusion didn't help, it wasn't really the biggest factor. And it wasn't also about becoming a royal princess and living that lifestyle. She didn't necessarily have an adverse feeling to that. Now, while this person didn't want to go too deep into the background as to the real reason why Chelsea decided finally to hang up the potential wings of a princess, it was more to do with the fact that she didn't feel that ready at that point to settle down. And of course, all the things that could become attached to that. Now, as we've seen with Harry himself, there were a lot of problems in his own personal life during that particular time. And as ever, we have to say allegedly, even though they're documented in his autobiography Spare. And according to that source, it wasn't, as I say, the life of a royal that drove Chelsea away finally. It was simply the fact that apparently she was simply exhausted by a lot of the drama that was in everyday life. Seemingly things that could have happened, may have happened, or indeed were happening with regards to her relationship. So it's very difficult, isn't it, for Prince Harry, as many people might say, to push forward with this, because if Chelsea were called or indeed asked to explain the background to this particular story, although of course she did attend his wedding, many might say that was out of affection and respect. But apparently she was more than happy to escape. But what was she escaping from? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.